Hello and welcome to Turtle Tracks Podcast. This is your host, Brian Van Hooker, and I'm here with Dave Fawcett, better known as the TMNT Collector, who is currently the Guinness World Record holder of having the largest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles memorabilia collection. Dave, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. I'm glad I could finally be here. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, and I've been trying to put it off till I had, something really significant to talk about. So here we are.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing an episode for like a year maybe, and no big deal. But then I saw the news. So share the news here. When you got the record, what it's for. Tell me all about it.
So it officially, I don't know, it was a couple days ago. We're in September 2025 now. That I got the email that it's official and they posted it on the website and my plaque is in the mail. But we did the count in February of 2025. And then with all the evidence and everything we had to put together, it was a lot. Yeah, it was official, with the email as of September, whatever the date was a couple of days ago, but we're, early September. And I applied for it to make the attempt in June 2024. And then I completely forgot about it because I hadn't heard anything. And then just in January 2025, it popped up in my email that I was approved to make the attempt. So yeah, we did it in February because you have to coordinate a lot of things, and do a lot of sorting in your collection. We can get into that. I'm sure you got more questions about it, so I don't want to just, put it all out there right now. Right.
Let's go
But
with, we talked about this. I would love to hear about what the process is like. Is for establishing a new record, like how do you have to justify how do you get a new record established? Because there is no previous record holder.
So I was here with actually Claudio Paola from McFarlane Toys was here at my house, and he was looking around and he's like, this has got to be one of the biggest Ninja Turtle collections in the world. And I was like, maybe, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know. I don't really think of it like that. I just, it's my stuff, right? I buy stuff, I find room for it. I complain I have no room, and then I buy more stuff, shift it around and make room. Like it's the collector life, right? And then we're like, well, let's get a ballpark. And we went through counting, no vice, no vice, no guidelines, just, each individual piece must count. So we went through and counted, and there was about 4,900 pieces.
Wow.
Right. So I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. So, we went on the website, the application, we went, applied, you write a little, hey, I believe I have, the biggest collection of this around this many pieces. And you fill out, like your information, blah, 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 and you send it away. And like I said, I did that in June 2024. And then, for the next couple days, I checked my email excited, because I had no idea how the process worked. And then eventually that faded away. And then it was a complete back thought. And I didn't even think about it again until I was checking my email in January 2025. So the email was there. You've been approved to make an official attempt to set the record for largest collection of TMNT memorabilia. Follow this link, to download your guidelines and set up your account kind of thing. So I did all of that, and I got the guidelines. And then I realized the 4,900 was, not 4,900. With their guidelines, there's no doubles, which obviously doubles I understand. No customs, no, if doubles counted, someone could just go buy, 6,000 Baxter Stockman figures for, out of a $2 bin at a toy show and be like, I have the biggest Ninja Turtle collection. So it has to be commercially available officially licensed worldwide. So, no doubles, no customs, nothing homemade like my life-size Krang that I'm actually holding on the photo in the website. Um,
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, yeah, I saw that picture. Yeah, you can't use that, I guess.
right?
Right?
But the Krang is kind of part of, with my Comic-Con stuff, like the Krang is something I always have at my table. People come over, pick it up, take pictures. It's a great time, right? Because you don't
Sure.
see a life-size Krang every day. So I was like, I want to have that in the picture because it's kind of the signature of the TMNT collector. Um, but yeah, no doubles, no customs, nothing area specific. Like, like if things were only available in Australia or the UK or Europe, like nothing area specific, worldwide available
So no,
commercially.
like TMNT Hero. I know Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Nothing from that.
I didn't count any of my Hero Turtle stuff. No,
Wow.
and I
Okay.
have, like a fair bit. Um, Now, I have back in June, I had 4,900 pieces. Another thing that really got me was NECA. NECA puts out a lot of their stuff in 2 packs and 4 packs.
Yep.
So I have a majority of my NECA stuff loose. Like I'm a loose collector. I like to
Same.
take my toys out, pose them, put them on a shelf, right? So when we initially counted, we counted each NECA figure. Well, a NECA 2 pack or a NECA 4 pack is considered one item. So I had to
Right.
take all my NECA stuff and lay it on a table in the sets that they came in and count them as individual items. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
basically, my giant NECA collection was cut in half.
It's gotta break your
Um,
heart when you found that out. Like, right?
right?
Ah,
Well, it makes sense, but at the same time, like my the final number for the record after everything was 2,195. You know what I mean? Which cut less than half of, especially now, because it's been almost, a year and a half. I have hundreds more items now.
sure.
But, I have quite a deep collection of all the different knockoffs and stuff like that. And with comic books, like there was, or everything, like no Comic Con exclusives. Like basically, if you couldn't walk into a store anywhere in the world and buy it off of a shelf, it
Oh,
didn't
so
count.
even like the NECA 4 pack foot soldiers from New York Comic Con X number of years ago, that couldn't count.
If it wasn't, were they available to order online worldwide?
Maybe
Pro-
eventually.
Probably,
Okay.
right? So
Sure.
that would count, but it would count as one item.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So yeah, it was quite a bit of, I it was quite a bit. But ultimately in the end, we did all of the work. The process was a lot because you have to record the entire process and then you have to take pictures of everything in the order that they appear in the video. And then you have to have the video edited down so it's just a straight count through. It took us 12 and a half hours to do the count. The final count video was still 3.5 hours long. So then once you have somebody record it and you have to have witnesses, 2 professional witnesses with tally counters, right? Like click, 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 click,
Oh, wow.
with one tally counter visible on camera at all times. So going through the collection, it was a like a disaster afterwards. You know what I mean? It looked like an earthquake hit. Everything was everywhere. It was a lot going through the process. So once you do the count and then you get your video edited, then you have to have, signed witness statements from both your witnesses, which you also have to find your professional witnesses and have them approved by Guinness. I went for a friend who ran a vintage toy store for 30 years and another friend that worked in a vintage toy store for many years. As my professional witnesses. It was their business to know vintage toys, what was real, what wasn't.
Sure.
So you get your witnesses, you do your count, you get your video. It gets edited. You have to get a timestamp put on your video, because once you get your video back, you have to take your video and all your photos and fill out a spreadsheet. Item name, item number, the name of the photo, and you have to name the photos. And any that are similar, like, Super Shredder and Chef Boyardee Super Shredder, Euro Super Shredder. I'm using examples that I couldn't even actually use, but three things that are similar.
Sure.
You have to name the photos, like you have to name the photos what it is. Then fill out the spreadsheet. Sorry. Fill out the spreadsheet with item name, description, timestamp where it appears in a video, and a thumbnail of the photo, all in order that it appears in the video. And then you send all of that in. I It took from February till May 14th to get all of the evidence, everything put together, everything I needed, all the signatures. And then I put it in, and then they got back to me, September. So that was another 3 or 4 months wait. It's a long process.
Did condition matter?
Um, I mean, not all my loose figures were fully complete in my collection. Ninja Turtles come with a lot of weapons. I kind of have like a at least two rule. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
I'm not sure if condition mattered, because for the most part, all of my stuff is pretty minty.
Okay, like do you still I'm curious, rewinding, when did you start collecting Ninja Turtles?
Um, well, in 1988, I got my soft head Donatello for Christmas. All I wanted was a Raphael, but they were sold out. I got a Donatello for Christmas, and that was kind of it. The marketing, the cartoon, I was 7 years old, and I just, bought in fully, right? I wanted every Ninja Turtle toy for Christmas, birthdays, just because they were coming out. And I had held on to, what I didn't actually break or destroy. And then, we went through like teenage years, right? You become a teenager, you don't really care about toys too much. I still picked up like Ninja Turtle things here and there, through like the late 90s. And then in the early 2000s, like when the 2003 line, like when Peter relaunched it, that kind of like resparked it for me. And I started buying up, stuff again. And yeah, I've just kind of been doing it since.
That's sort of the same with me. Like I collected a ton when I was a kid. Much of my collection is still like that was my sewer when I was growing up. That's my Technodrome. Like that's all the same stuff I grew up playing with. And then like I probably had like a minute where I was like thinking of like, oh, maybe it's time. So I sold off my Scratch figure and then immediately regretted it, bought it back for more money, and have never looked back. And the 2003 show was around when it kind of like got back into it because those toys were cool, and it was exciting seeing those characters back on the shelves. So I very distinctly remember that Christmas season, in 03. Was it? Yeah. When that came back and the turtles were like back on the shelves, it was a big deal because we hadn't heard from them in a good 5 years, give or take.
Yeah. Well, the end of the original Playmates was what, 97?
I think so. I mean, are you counting Next Mutation in that or no?
Well, I mean like
Like
the
on the fence, right?
original.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's yeah,
Next
96, 97 around there.
mutation,
Yeah.
next mutation kind of wasn't really on my radar. You
Sure.
know what I mean? Until later. Because it wasn't very popular. It didn't last very long. Right. And I also wasn't paying attention as much to Ninja Turtles in that specific time, around 98, 99, when I was like a young teenager.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Name a favorite item included in the record? Like maybe the most, I don't know, like, one of the most special ones, a Holy Grail in there.
For me personally, it's the 1988 Donnie, because obviously, like, that's my very first figure I ever got. And then my movie star Mikey, my late grandfather, Grampy Jack, he got me that movie star Mikey. Where I was in New Brunswick, they had the figures like right in the movie theaters. And once again, Raph was sold out. So I got that movie star Mikey, and that's, I even mentioned that in the like caption for Guinness that those two, the Donnie and the movie star Mikey, are the two. Like they're not worth the most, but they're the most sentimental to me.
Sure. Yeah. I still have my first. I started with the Raphael, and I still have that in my collection. Like a lot of the stuff is stuff that I played with and beat up to a degree, although nothing really too. I was always pretty gentle with my toys, but I still have my original Raphael that is super important and special and in its own little place. So I totally get that.
My bad guys were always in really bad shape because, they didn't get to hit the turtles. The turtles just kicked the crap out of them. So
Give me a favorite item that was not allowed to be included for whatever reason.
um that would be, my life-size Krang. I also have like
Sure.
the life-size Krang is made by the Devil's Latex. He also made me a statue of like the baby turtle, in Secret of the Ooze when
Mhm.
they're crawling through the ooze and they start to talk and they're like pizza, pizza.
Yeah,
Devil's Latex, same company, made me like a resin statue of the baby turtle, right? That's a favorite. Let me see. I love I have, original head sketches from Kevin, Peter, Jim Lawson, and Steve Levine, right? Like
that's
framed
great.
together, the four of them. So that's the centerpiece of my room.
I love that.
Hmm.
Tell me, what's your favorite play? Like, what turtle media are you most like? So you were a big cartoon guy. Were you into the movies much? Like, what are you mostly into then and now?
Um, I mean, I have this conversation with people a lot. I'm sure talk to a lot of Ninja Turtle fans, and you have your like, oh, this cartoon is terrible. This one was so bad. The original was the best one. So, as someone with children, my favorite cartoon is the original. My favorite movies are the original movies, right? Obviously, that's what I grew up on. When 2003 came around, you know, I was like, "Oh, this is a little edgier. I like this." And it was kind of a sign of the time of what cartoons were at that time. And then 2012 came around and it was a sign of the time of what cartoons were at that time. And then, they ended that after like that was a good run, probably like 6 years, right?
Mhm.
And then Rise, you know, and in that 6 years, it had evolved, and Rise was a reflection of what cartoons were at that time. And now we're on to Mutant Mayhem, which is a reflection of like what cartoons are at this time. So without evolution and keeping up with the times, you know, it would just die, right? Like, sure, if they put out, a movie with the suit actors, like a live action, no CGI, all of us would absolutely love it. But the young kids would be like, what is this? And ultimately, I think it's supposed to be for children.
I completely agree. I feel so many people get kind of stuck in what was, and I love that stuff too. I mean, the original cartoon's my favorite turtle thing. That first movie is my favorite turtle movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you and I
but
are probably around the same age bracket, right? Like,
yeah, I was born '85, so
yeah, 81. So,
okay, so yeah, but like I feel like these. I mean, this is a kid's property. Like you've got to keep it updated for kids. My daughter, who's 10, she's super into turtles now, and I'm glad that they're finding ways to evolve and then keep them relevant. I really like Mutant Mayhem. I thought it was great.
yeah.
I think the 2012 cartoon is probably, even though the original is my favorite, I think the 2012 cartoon is the best cartoon if you take nostalgia out of the equation. Like they just had great storytelling, lots of great writing. Like, so I mean, I try to, especially on the podcast, I try not to be negative about anything. I mean, there's some things I don't dig as much. I have a harder time with the Michael Bay movies. Um, but like even them, I try not to be negative about it because there's somebody out there who really digs that stuff, and I also know the
Mm.
people who worked on it worked hard on it. So
With the Michael Bay movies, he was coming off of the success of Transformers. So I was expecting a Transformer-ish Ninja Turtle movie, and that's exactly what we got.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I didn't go into that with this expectation. I expected it to be a Transformer-ish Ninja Turtle movie, and it's exactly what it was. Like he even still used Megan Fox, who was in Transformers. You know what
Right.
I mean? So, um, yeah, it was a different take. My absolute favorites, no, but also like I have the toys. I was excited there was more toys, more stuff to add to the collection, right? So,
I think, I mean, I mean, I like the sequel a little better, if only because I thought it nailed Bebop and Rocksteady. They were so perfectly translated to
yeah,
that
oh,
movie.
100%.
They like
Yeah.
they really nailed them. The designs
Krang
were
was
great, the casting, all of it. I loved it.
Krang was a little weird with like
Hmm.
the like, but ultimately it wasn't absolutely terrible if you watch it from a standpoint by itself, not trying to compare it to what, we were all young kids going to the theater after watching this cartoon and then being like, "Oh my god, they're real." Right? Like this isn't a cartoon. This is the real Ninja Turtles. Like they're real. You didn't get that. You can't recreate that like childhood whimsy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I
So
agree.
it's hard to compare, but like I said, I think they did a good job, and I was happy that there was some more toys coming out. Right? I have a representation of every era in Turtles in here. I even have, a shelf for some Rise stuff,
Yeah,
and that's
I've got a little
probably
shelf down here for Rise. I like Rise. I thought Rise, like, there were a few too many things that where I thought like I don't love what they did with Leonardo, and I think that it kind of if there are issues with the show, it kind of stems from him not being in that feeling like Leonardo. But like
Mhm.
the art was fantastic, the animation was beautiful. I really love the villains on that show. Like the villains felt like kind of like old Playmates toys, like weird, goofy villains. I love the Alberto, the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese kind of character. They did. That was a
Yeah.
great April they had. So like that, I like. There's a lot of things I like about that show, even if it's not my favorite piece of turtle media.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was never a theater release, but from I the 2003 era, they did a full length movie too called Turtles Forever that
Oh,
was
amazing! Yeah.
fantastic. But I back when I first watched it, I got in my feels a little bit like, yo, why are they making fun of my, 89 turtles so bad? But now that I sit back and watch it and I'm like, okay, it's pretty funny.
I mean, I love the '80s turtles, but like there is like, I mean, there's some goofy stuff in that old cartoon. I love it. That's the
Yeah.
idiosyncrasies of it, but it's definitely like there's like I took it as kind of good natured ribbing in that movie.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that was a great movie. There was a Rise movie too that was really good with the storyline and
oh,
Casey was in
excellent.
there and yeah, right. So I wish they would have released that on DVD. I don't know if they did in the US, but they didn't in Canada.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it might have only been Netflix.
It was a good movie though. It was really like I felt like that kind of not redeemed the series, but it was nice to see Leonardo kind of become Leonardo, which I liked.
Yeah.
Like it was a story of him kind of becoming the character would kind of I don't know want that character to be. So
Mhm.
what kind of stuff do you collect in the modern day? Like which companies do you gravitate towards the most? Tell me.
Um, I like NECA.
Yeah.
NECA is going really hard into some deep cuts, so I'm not grabbing every single thing. When they first started coming out and it was much better versions of like the original stuff that I always wanted. Like they went through kind of the original Playmates line pretty quick. Um, I got all of that. I really like NECA. Super 7 Ultimates mm, are pretty great figures. Um, I still like the Playmate stuff, like the Mutant Mayhem stuff.
Yeah,
Playmates is Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Like when
absolutely.
they made the originals, the 2000s, like they've been the main producer of Ninja Turtles since the beginning, right? So, always support Playmates. yeah, then there's like some third party stuff like Collect PCS, like really high end stuff like that that is amazing. You know what I mean?
Which ones do they do? I don't know if I have.
Collect PCS, they were the ones who did the like 1-to-1 scale big sewer with the four
Oh, I've
turtles
seen that in
coming out of
person.
it.
That thing's insane. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they just announced like a Shredder replica helmet, right?
Oh
And
yes, I want the. I mean, are you gonna get those or one of them?
um I may get the Shredder helmet because I don't have an actual Shredder helmet.
I don't either, and I'm like, it's funny. As much as I think the first movie is far better than the second one, I kind of dig that second Shredder helmet a little more. The one with the razor, the saw thing. So I'm like, man,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be more than I'm willing to spend, but like that one's really tempting.
Yeah. See, with the higher end stuff for me, it's like it has to be extremely nostalgic. I don't want to buy it just to be like, hey, look at this expensive thing I have.
Yeah.
When I could take that money and, go buy um, like some vintage candy dispensers or, vintage. I'm really into like the vintage merch, food items, stuff like that, cereal boxes, KF or K craft dinner boxes, vintage candy, I got the toothbrushes like you were saying. I got the toothbrushes and the toothpaste, right? Like I really like the vintage merchandise, just the random things that they slap Ninja Turtle on. And I'm like, I could buy a whole lot of that vintage stuff for the amount that I would spend on this like one big statue that I don't have room for.
You know, it's funny. I've reached the same point where like I don't I have most of what I want in like as far as old stuff goes. So there's a couple gaps that bug me, but like and there's new stuff coming out, especially from NECA that I really like. But like the stuff I get excited about now is like, for lack of a better word, like the junk, the Burger King toys. I just got the other day a old box of color forms from this toy thing in New Jersey, and like I got like there's this goofy lamp that I really love that I didn't have. What I'll show you this Donatello lamp there that I didn't have when I was a
Oh yeah,
kid.
that's
But
awesome.
yeah, like that's the stuff. Or like I found this. I was in Northampton.
Was
Like
was was that the lamp that's like the kind of ceramic mold of the vintage giants?
no, it's like a
No.
little.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't pull wire here, but it's like no, it wasn't that. It was like it's like 8 inches tall. It looks more like a shampoo bottle than
okay,
it
okay.
does that. I can show you. Yeah, that
Oh
one.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's
like that stuff.
super
Or I
cool.
was just in Northampton recently passing through, and even though Mirage Studios is long gone, uh I was trying to find a turtle item somewhere in that town. So I got like this mirror, which was really cool.
Oh
But
yeah.
and then
I
so that
think I
that
think that's
weird,
supposed to have a red frame.
really. So I have the smaller ones that have the red frames, like this. I have a Donatello. Yay! Oh, that you might be right. No shit. Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, the ones this guy had didn't. He had a bunch of them, but there were no frames on them.
Ah.
So, but like that, anyway, that's the stuff, like the random junk that excites
Mhm.
me now because like it reminds me of that crazy era of Turtle Mania where like they slapped a turtle on anything with little regard for what it was. That's the stuff that gets
Right.
me excited now because I have everything I
Yeah.
want. Like I also don't collect statues because they're very expensive. I have the four original
The
like there
cold cast.
was that.
Those are like the vintage like cold cast ones, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes. For the show, the
Okay.
first that was like, but to me, like that's like represents all of Turtles, right? Because it's the first page, first issue, and I'm like, I'm not a big statue guy. Like, I like to have figures, open them, pose them, all that. That's way more fun to me than statues.
Mhm.
That's the same
I
reason why
mean,
I'm not in box collector.
I have the Jack specific, the big 4-foot turtles. They only did Leo and Mikey. So I
Yes,
bought
I
two
have
of
the
each.
Mikey only.
Yeah, I bought two of each because I was like, well, you can't just have two brothers. So for me, like that's my statues, right? Like I got the three standing over there, and then
Nice.
I have Raph is over here on the other side of me.
Did you convert two of the turtles into the other two?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
hundred
opted
percent.
so like in my collection, like I can get if I can have one of a turtle, I'm okay with it. So I just got the Mikey and I was like, that's fine. But if I have two, that drives me two or three, that drives me crazy. So I can do one okay, and I can do or I need all four. And I don't know what my brain doesn't like having just
Right.
two or three
Well,
of something.
that was also, such a genius marketing move back in the days by Playmates and everybody to change the bandana colors and make them all, completely different. Or and that is carried on with us because it was like, oh, we have to get all of them.
Yeah.
Right. So no matter what, you're buying at least four, and you're like, well, I got four. So, I think they held well to like Turtles, April, Splinter, Casey, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady are kind of like the core. You're gonna buy those ones of every line because those, are your all your main characters, right? So
Yeah. Pretty much.
mhm.
I mean, there's often times where I kind of need to cut it off there. And it's like, okay, like for Rise, like I have the four turtles, Splinter, and April. And to me, like that's enough. I like that show. That's plenty of like I want enough to represent the line, right? Or like Next Mutation, I've got the four turtles in Venus. So to me, that's enough to kind of like I don't need all the was the gorilla in the green suit. Like that's cool.
Silver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't need him in my collection to kind of you know what I mean. Like he's fine, but it's not. I don't need it. The
Yeah.
collection that drove me crazy back in the day were the ones where um they didn't have all four turtles. Like it was a line of just three turtles. I don't know if you like
Oh
the
yeah, the Jim Lee turtles. Yeah.
Jim Lee turtles, also like the magician Raphael and it was a
Clown
Clown
Mikey
Mikey
and
and then
a
Leonardo's a
Bert.
birthday boy. No Donnie in the
Yeah,
line. Those lines
you
drove
got
me
it.
crazy.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's like the Kung Fu turtles had Donnie, Mikey, Raph, and then Rocksteady.
Yep.
No Leonardo.
And no Bebop. Anytime they had a Bebop or Rocksteady without the other one too,
Yeah.
drove like that.
Well, they
What was
did
the
that. They did that with the karate fighter ones too on the guns, right? You got Bebop, Rocksteady, Leo, and Mikey,
Yep. Yeah, no Raph, no Donnie.
right?
Or like Bebop, what was that? Whatever this line is, the Samurai Turtle. These guys
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
had a
They did
Bebop, no Rocksteady. Drove me nuts.
yeah, those are the cyber samurais.
That's it. Yeah, like the though. Like
Yeah, they did the four turtles, Shredder, and Bebop.
yep. Like you
Yeah,
clearly are missing. Like I mean, I love Bebop and Rocksteady. I've got a huge collection of just Bebop and Rocksteady stuff, and like it drives me nuts when it's just one and not the other. Because like to me, those two always have to be together. So that's it.
right.
Whenever they kind of shortchange us on the one, I was like this, or like the what was that? The prehistoric turtles line, which is a great line of turtles. Great Bebop, no Rocksteady. Oh, drove me nuts.
Oh, the cave turtles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I actually got from a dude named Arthur Green a custom like cave rocksteady.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he did a really
Oh man, you have
he
to
did
show
a
me.
yeah he did a really great job on it.
Oh, that's really good. Was that like a? Could you order it off his site or something? Or
Um, yeah, he posted them on Instagram, and I seen them, and I was like, hey, I need one of those because, like you said, you can't have Bebop without Rocksteady,
yeah.
right?
Oh, that's
So
really good.
yeah, he did a really good job on it, the way he like his rendition of it. So yeah, I got this is the kind of things that collectors do, and you have all these extra figures, which are super cool things that look amazing, but technically, you know, it's just a custom,
Sure.
so it doesn't count towards your number.
At
When
any point during that process, were you like, were you ready to give up? Because that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Probably around the 11th hour, and I was looking around, and my whole collection was just all over the place. But I was like, you know what? We're almost there. We're past the halfway point.
Sure,
So, let's just breathe for a minute and keep going.
sure. Power through
You
it.
know, the ultimate goal, you know, collectors do all kinds of crazy things. We'll drive super long distances or pay excessive amounts for things that we really want. So, we go to the distance.
Oh, dude. I mean, I every time I'm in another town, like all I do is hunt down vintage toy stores. That's like to me those. I was in Vegas and I don't really gamble, and I was like, I wonder if there's any vintage toy stores out here because I was there for a film festival, and there was a bunch of them there. So I went like I just like everybody else is gambling in Vegas, and I'm driving around to vintage toy stores. So
Right? You should have connected with Ethan second time
yeah,
around.
I don't
Toys
think
with
I
Trouble,
didn't know him then. I know
right?
him pretty well now for a second time around toys. Great guy, but I didn't know
Yeah,
him then.
his
Otherwise, I definitely would
collection
have.
is insane too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, good dude.
um, yeah, great guy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's some amazing collections out there. I've met Michelle Ivy a few times. She's brought some of her props to my booths at Comic Cons and stuff. And she's great.
Michelle's
Um,
great. Yeah.
yeah, and her wealth of knowledge
Oh yeah.
is insane. You know what I mean? So like, love Michelle. I'm actually gonna be at a con with her, not this weekend, the weekend after. So it'll be nice to see her again.
I think Michelle is like, even if you have more of the items, but to me, Michelle is always officially the number one Turtles fan. Like she has earned that badge to me, and
Oh,
keeps
oh
that.
yeah, Turtles
Yeah,
fan, absolutely for
right. She
sure.
is just yeah. That's all her. So
Hmm.
she's been a friend
Right?
for a few years. I had her on the podcast, and she's just great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no one can ever take. I would never try to claim to be the number one Ninja Turtle fan.
Yeah, like
Right?
I have a good collection, but I also too like I know there are people out there who have way more than me. And well, here's a question: do you think anybody might come along and like at some point have more than your than amount? Because there's huge collections out there. Do you think there's anybody out there who might someday challenge it?
Um, I mean, they are more than welcome to go through the whole entire process. Um, I have a lot more than what was actually counted. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
also, it's not a competition. I did this kind of more as a joke. You know what I mean? Like, just to apply and see, because there wasn't one, right? Like there's a biggest Mickey Mouse collection and a biggest Star Wars collection and a biggest He-Man collection and biggest Ghostbuster collection. And the only Guinness World Records for Ninja Turtles, which, is the franchise that I love, was largest group of people dressed as Ninja Turtles and highest score in Turtles in Time. I'm like, there isn't even a TMNT collection in the Guinness Book of World Records. I'm going to put one there. If somebody wants to cut, like, I'm not going to do it again. It's one of those things where, like, you know, it's really cool to do it first.
I was saying, like, you established the record, you put it out, you did it first. Like, to me, like, I mean, for lack of a better analogy, like, I feel like after I climbed Everest, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I would need to keep going back. You know what I mean? Like, do you need to defend your time? I mean, to me, like, I think the fact that you established it, you're in the books, you said it first, like, that to me is a huge deal. Like, I can't imagine trying to keep up with, like,
No,
oh, this guy's got 2,300 now. I gotta get, that would be insane.
right? I mean, at this point, and like I said, with how long the process was,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
you
you're
know,
pretty well
I,
past that. Yeah.
right? I'm way past, it's not really about the number. It was about the
How they count the number.
You know what I mean?
I was
Well,
worried. I was worried. Like I was like, oh, did you have to count the accessories and stuff like that? Like, God, that would have been a nightmare.
yeah, no, that would have been crazy.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, man, it was a process, and I'm not, if somebody has a bigger collection and they want to go through all of that work, absolutely do it.
If you got
We're-
more, would you be able to add to what was, or you'd have to start from scratch again?
no, you have to start from scratch because,
Oh my God.
realistically, I could sell all of this and buy 2,000 other things and then come back and be like, well, this is what I had before, and now I have all these things.
Oh,
When realistically, it was never all together. You know what I mean?
that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my
Like
word.
if you counted every Ninja Turtle thing you had and sold them and bought more,
Right.
you don't have
Okay.
all of it.
Yeah.
You know
No.
what I
No,
mean?
dude, that makes sense. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, I wondered if you that makes a lot of sense. So it'll
Yeah.
be yeah. No, dude, you're first. That you're in the books. Like that's what matters. That's awesome, dude.
Mm-mm.
I love the fact that you like made this great impact for the fandom. That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I love this community. I do a lot. Um, I do a lot for the community. The community does a lot for me and for each other, here on or there on Instagram. Sorry, I'm used to talking to people on Instagram on video calls. Um, and it's been fantastic. I get to go out to shows and I get to meet people and talk to them and do, my show and tell, but I do it live on location. So they'll buy something and be like, oh man, look what I got. You know what I mean? And it's a great experience and I love it. And I'm, really getting to talk to and meet a lot of like-minded people, like yourself, right?
It's cool, man. Like I've been a Turtle fan forever, but I mean, I wasn't like I don't know. When did you start connecting with the fandom? For me, I don't think it was until I'll tell you when it was. It was through Granite Con in 2019, right before the pandemic. That was when the voice actors were um well maybe it was a little bit before then. I don't know. But I mean I didn't start until the late 20 whatever teens. And like that's when I started to kind of connect to the fandom a bit more. Obviously with the podcast, that was a big part of it too. Which I started in
Well,
2018. When did you start to connect? Because to me it was like kind of a solo venture until this.
um, so, COVID hit. Um, I had always had the collection, you know what I mean? Like for a long time it was in bins and stuff like that. And then, we moved into a new house and I was like, "Hey, can I decorate a room with my Ninja Turtle stuff?" Right? So I had the collection and I kind of wasn't putting it out there in the world. And then COVID hit and COVID took away my ability to go to toy stores and thrift shops and garage sales and all of these places that I love to go to find Ninja Turtle things, right? Like, and I made an Instagram account with the mindset that like maybe I can find some like-minded people that are, selling some stuff, right? And then it just kind of skyrocketed. Like, you know, right away. And I met some great guys. And, I came up with the idea. I was like, I'm going to do show and tell. Like, we're all stuck in the house doing nothing. So, show and tell, just like when you were in school, I'll go live from my turtle layer, invite people on to show their collections or, their new custom or painting or whatever it is. And it just built this whole like community and camaraderie. And, then once the world opened back up, I've had the opportunities to be invited out and go to Comic Cons and like meet these people in real life that I'd been talking to for like a couple years. Right. So it's really like a really big cycle and I love it. And I appreciate all of the love and support so much, and this is, um, still really fun. I'm still kind of processing the whole Guinness thing because the plaque isn't even here yet. It's on the way. Like once that's here and it's on the wall and I'm looking at it, I'll be like, this is awesome.
That getting to meet more and more people in the community has been cool. I mean, I remember when I was at Granite Con, and there's a couple people who came up and said they listened to the show, and I was like, oh, like I remember bumping into Ninja Turtles, and he was like this great guy. Like, so it was cool, like to kind of connect because everything it really. I mean, I feel like the turtle fandom is the right size in that like you can like to me the Star Wars fandom is so huge. I feel like there's maybe less of a community to it. Whereas the turtle fandom feels like I kind of know lots and lots of people in this, and it feels like that's a
Mhm.
significant chunk of it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a great community. I met some, great people that I'm actually, like friends. Like I'll be lifelong friends with these people.
Oh,
You
same.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, I've had people that I become friends with travel up here to just come and hang out and check out the turtle lair from like Florida, California, you know what I mean? All over the place. So it's great, man. It was really good for like the mental health going through COVID, you know what I mean? To have like a community and lots of people to talk to, even if it was just, like a screen to a screen,
Yeah.
right? It established connections that then turned into friendships, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, it's great.
Me same here, man. I mean, some like but even artists too. Like my good friend Aaron Hazuri, who is an artist for NECA now. Like I met him through because I wanted somebody to draw my logo, and I loved his art, and so lots of good people I've gotten to meet through
Yeah.
this,
Oh,
and they're like,
Aaron is the best.
oh, great dude, like really is.
Mhm.
So like,
I can't wait to actually meet him. I was just talking to him the other day. He had messaged me to congratulate me. And I was like, I can't wait to actually meet you because, some of the friends I was talking about before, I've met him and been like, man, like he's such a great guy. You guys will get along great. I was like, amazing. I've met Kevin, I've met all of the, still living cast from the original cartoon. I've met, people from both the movies, and everyone's just super nice and
yeah,
super great. And I think the turtles kind of just have that good quality to them,
and
right?
it seems that
So
like dude, I mean, I've done 160 some odd episodes of this podcast, and I've never had an experience where I was like, well, that guy was an asshole. Like, it really a lot of good people who've worked on the franchise, and I think that kind of trickles down to the fandom, where there's just lots of really great people who are like who love these characters.
right, if they had to deal with asshole fans all day, maybe they wouldn't be so nice.
Right? Yeah. Give me you mentioned yard sales and stuff. Give me a favorite like holy shit, I can't believe I found this in Diamond in the Rough kind of thing.
Um, uh, I let me see. Like, I was at um, I was at Value Village. Oh, okay. I have the story. I've told it many times before, but I'll tell it again. In Canada, I don't know if you guys have it in the US, but in Canada, we have a thrift store called Value Village.
I don't think so.
And
I don't think so.
years ago, I actually found it and I had sold it, and then I had to buy another one back, kind of like your scratch story. But I found a hot spot
Oh,
in
okay.
really good condition at a thrift shop in a bag of Paw Patrol toys for like $5.
That's great.
Yeah. And it was long ago, but not that long ago, like 19-ish.
That's great. I
Right?
found a
Yeah. So,
Warrior Bebop. I'm a huge Bebop and Rocksteady guy, and I have almost everybody, but every one of their versions. And I found a random Warrior Bebop like in a bin at a vintage toy store, and like snatched it up, but then waited. Like I didn't display it for years because I didn't have the Rocksteady to go with it because they're very expensive figures. So like that was one of those ones where I was just like, oh my god, I couldn't believe I found Warrior Bebop in this $5 bin, and
oh
then
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
And what?
yeah,
Gatekeeper
I have
Rocksteady.
Gatekeeper Rocksteady now, but it took a long time to like fill that gap in my collection.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I've found some really good stuff. I mean, from being out there so much as I am, I have I've met a lot of vendors and stuff now, so like they'll message me and be like, "Hey, I found this Ninja Turtle thing for this much." You know what I mean? And I'll either get it for like the cost, I'll just send them the money, or be like, grab it and I'll pay you this much because like it's worth this much kind of thing. So that happens quite often.
Oh,
But I
cool.
still love the thrill of the hunt. Like at a toy show, I'll be digging through those
Those
bins
are the
like
best
right.
bins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I
Right.
mean, not that it's like there are a bunch of different vintage toy stores I go to, and I mean they all know what they're selling. And it's not like you don't want to like, but like there are ones that are like everything's in box and very neat and all that. And then there's the ones where I have the bins and you have to dig, like they're way more exciting to dig through the bins and find something as opposed
Right.
to like, I don't know, the ones that are usually the ones that are all in box are a little overpriced. I don't enjoy that as much. I mean, what's that?
I'm still waiting for that day that I dig through a bin and find Irma's stupid little red glasses. Eh?
Oh, you don't have those? That's
No.
messed up. I think mine has it. Mine? Oh shit, she doesn't. Ah, so I was same thing. I don't
Right.
have mine either.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know one thing I'm looking for in is a super mutant splint shredder. One gap that bugs me is that
oh yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? That yeah.
Yeah, the super mutants are like the tall, like 7 or 8 inch ones.
Yeah, these ones. Like I have like these guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have all of them except for the shredder. Is there any outstanding ones, especially classic, that you're like, oh man, I wish I had that?
Um, I really wish at some point I would have got a cloth coat Raphael, but with the amount of money that they cost now, like I can do without it. Undercover Raph
Oh, the quarter
is like
scale?
what?
The
No,
quarter
no,
scale
no,
one?
no. The quarter scales are getting re-released. I mean, like the vintage Playmates one with the cloth coat.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of have, you know, toy wise, everything that I want. Like if something comes along, right? Like if I had Euro Super Shredder and I had a friend that was like, "Oh man, I need this like so bad, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Listen, I'll sell it to you because I don't really care about Euro Super Shredder. Like I know everyone thinks you have to have it, it's a holy grail, but it doesn't mean anything to me because when I was a kid, I didn't have Euro Super Shredder.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I sold it to a friend and it's in his collection forever and he's super happy. You know what I mean? I didn't even really charge him much at all, right? I was just like, I paid this much, you can give me this much, and it's yours, right? Because I don't have that like I don't collect for to be like, oh, I have this.
Same. Yeah, like I got rid of there's a few items that I got rid of because I was like, oh, they're extremely valuable, and I kind of don't give a shit about them. There was the Warrior Chrome Dome. I mean, it's a cool figure, but I didn't care. Like it was just another Chrome Dome, or like the Michelangelo. There was a metalhead that was Metalhead Michelangelo.
Yeah,
Like
the Warrior
yeah, and
Metalhead.
I was like, I
Yeah,
don't really like. They're extremely rare. I have two of my trench coat turtles. I have Raph and I have Leo. My Mikey broke, and I never got Donnie because I guess as a kid I figured I have undercover Donnie, but I certainly regret not getting it now. But there's certain ones where I was like, I guess I don't really have much attachment to like the value of it isn't has nothing to do with the and if it was $800 to sell this one toy that I think to me counts as like a double because I like the silver chrome dome better. I didn't
right.
care about losing it. So
Hmm. Yeah, man. It's I think the pandemic and I'm not speaking ill of anybody. Just let that be known. I'm not talking about anybody specific. I feel like the pandemic and also the Toys That Made Us episode with Ninja Turtles spawned a lot of deep pocketed collectors that are buying things to say that they have them.
that's fair. I agree with that. Yeah.
You know
I
what I
don't really
mean?
understand. Like, I mean, I get that it's part of the history of it, but I don't really understand prototype collectors that much. It's cool that you have this thing, but like it's a market
Mhm.
that's way above my income level that I can afford. And also
Oh,
like
absolutely.
I have the toy. Like to me, they're like I don't need the prototype of King Lionheart, I've got him over there, right? I like doesn't do
Right.
anything for me. You know what I mean? Like I get it. I get it. Like I get art collectors. I understand that, but I'm not like I'm a toy guy first, right? So I have some art that's really cool. I have some stuff signed by Ethan Laird, and but like to me, like what's cool to me is the toys. That's the first thing. Like I have tons of comics and all that, but I'm a toy guy. So
Same.
yeah, dude, it's
Um,
a pleasure talking to you. I don't know. Tell me, the way I usually end these interviews is, well, first of all, tell me where, for anybody who doesn't already follow you, which is impossible that if they're following me, they're following you. But still, tell me how to follow you on Instagram, just in case.
um, Instagram is my main. But everything, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everything is at the TMNT Collector.
What's the next few shows that you're doing that people can catch you at?
This weekend I'll be at Hamilton Comic Con in Hamilton, Ontario. And then I'll be at Wallaceburg Comic Con. That'll be the one with Michelle Ivy and a
When's
couple of
that?
the
When's
other
the Wallace?
guys.
I won't have time to put this up before that one, but when's the Wallaceburg one?
Wallaceburg is September 27th, and
Oh,
then I'll
nice.
be
Okay.
in Nickel City with the 4 Toon guys like Rob, Cam, Townsend, and Barry and Renee for Nickel City, August 4th and 5th.
October 4th and 5th?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
nice. Cool.
did I say August? I feel like
I
I
do the
said
same thing, yeah.
October 4th and 5th. Yeah, with the Toon cast at Nickel City in Buffalo, New York. So
And how can
that'll
the
be a
people
good
find
time.
the Guinness entry? Where like do they still do books? Is it what are they? How do they find that?
They just released their 2026 book. It's kind of like a year ahead. So,
Okay.
it's on the website. If you just go to Google and type in, largest TMNT memorabilia collection, it'll pop right up like Dave Fawcett and you can click on the link. Um, yeah, or follow me on Instagram, and when the plaque gets here, I'll post some pictures and it'll be, a good time.
Tell me who's your favorite turtle and why?
Raphael, because he's like me. He's cool but rude.
I'm all set here, man. Thank you so much for your time. This is great. I really appreciate talking to you, and I appreciate the positivity and the fun you're putting out in the fandom. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Pleasure to be here, man. And again, sorry that I put it off for so long, but
No, dude, I'm
this
glad you waited for real.
this is what I was waiting for to come to fruition, right?
I'm
So,
glad you did. This is what dude, you're the record holder. That's awesome. So I'm glad you waited.
mhm.
So,
Well, thank you, sir, and we'll talk soon.
I'm sure we will. Take care, man.
Later.
Bye.